Hello and welcome to Crit Corner, a new YouTube series for the novice, the intermediate, and the advanced cyclist, all about crit racing. We're going to go from the fundamentals all the way into the advanced techniques while we watch some great footage. My name is Sherwood, and we're here today at the 2016 Tour of Walla. This is a classic Pacific Northwest crit. So let's start with a quick bit of introduction. I'm a Cat 2 racer in the Pacific Northwest. I race for Langlois Brown Racing, which is going to be important later on in helping identify who my teammates are in the field. There's one of us to the left over there in the dark blue kit with the red highlights on the back. All right, so one of the first things I like to do when I get to a race is a lap of the course. Get an understanding of the features and where you think moves and attacks are going to happen. Pay attention to the surroundings, really. You can see we've just crossed the start-finish line there. It's a big, wide open space. There's a bit of a tight point right as we go through there, and it's not too bad. Oftentimes you get an opportunity to move up one or two wheels through that. But generally speaking, everyone's going to be strung out through this section as they've carried that speed through the start-finish line. We do start to bunch up as we hit corner number 1. And this corner, interesting, you can take it tight. The inside line is often going to be your fast line, but you're at the mercy of the guy in front of you. The one advantage to this corner is that if you take it wide, there's a bit of an opportunity to maintain momentum. Guys don't tend to swing wide as they come out of it, so you've got a little bit of an advantage in that you won't be following a wheel and you can go at your own speed. This section through here, not too much happens. Odd guys are going to move up on the left side. You might get the odd attack on the right side, but really it's about the setup for this hard right turn here. It is a bit treacherous because of a bump in the road, but generally speaking, it played out okay this year. No one took it too poorly. We sweep around to the left fairly lightly here. It's not too bad. The important thing is this setup to this right-left turn, a quick chicane. So the right turn I find is a great opportunity to gain a wheel or two because I can take it a little tighter. But it's nice to have a bit of forethought and think as you come out of this left that you want to be on the lee side. And you can see up on the left-hand side there, that flag, you can see that the wind is coming from the right, so it's a good opportunity to get yourself some shelter. This second to last corner here can play a critical role later in the race. It is a little bit off camber, so if you take it too hot, you can end up getting pushed way left and there's a bump coming out of it. But if you're first wheel out of that, odds are you can make it first wheel to the line if you're a strong sprinter. And into the last corner. That's it for the lap. We're about to cross the start-finish line. You can see there, only in the last lap is that going to be critical. That's when you're going to be right to the gutter and right moving fast. So there we go. That was one lap. So I have to be honest, I have started this race very poorly. I find myself way at the back of the field and I need to start moving up. So that's a great thing to start talking about, moving up. First thing I do, use momentum. Going through that corner, I carried a lot more speed and I was able to take one wheel. And at times, if you're able to save energy but take one wheel, that's all that matters. All right, so here's another point where I move up in the race with what I think was an extremely lucky move. Really, the payoff for the amount of effort I put in here was not going to be very high, but this guy from Metier moves out here and starts doing the exact same thing I just did. And by carrying my momentum through in his draft, I'm able to make up a bunch of extra wheels. It's great. Here's another move I make that I think really was not worth the payoff at all. A lot of energy expelled right here, and I make up one or two wheels, and then due to some unfortunate cornering right there, I think I lose them all. Watch this guy in blue's wheel as we go through this corner. Blink. Scared me a little bit there, but that's a good way to get your heart rate up in the middle of a race. So it has taken me an embarrassingly long time to get to the front, and we're at 20 minutes into this race, and I'm finally starting to see the front end. I always take advantage of free rides, take advantage of that Russ Hayes guy there, pulling me up into the top 10 wheels. So now, finally, I'm in a position where the racing matters. And I think you can even see the difference of what it's like at the front of the race versus at the back of the pack. It's a lot more dynamic. Guys are rotating fluid around really quickly. Moves are happening. Small moves. Guys are just moving to the front, but you can see changing wheels all the time. A lot more dynamic. You have to be paying a lot of attention. So if you're paying attention right here, you see someone's off the front, and I'm going to try and bridge up to them. Now, they don't have a big gap yet, but it's enough that I think it's worth trying to get up there. And like I said, it took me so long to get up here, I really want to stretch my legs. So meet up here. This is Isaac from Russ Hayes. He is a very strong rider, and if I'm honest, I was a little bit outgunned in this breakaway. He probably could have sat on the front the whole time and ridden me right off his wheel, even if I hadn't have taken a pull. So I have to do a bit of an equation in my head now. Isaac and I, we've been off the front for a while, and Isaac has been drilling it the whole time, and to be honest, I don't think I can stay on his wheel at the pace he's going. And we haven't really gotten that big a gap. So you can see here, I'm just letting him get ahead. I knew that based on my fitness, how I was feeling, that if I kept this up, I wouldn't have the matches left to be meaningful later in the race, to be able to help a lead out or to be able to follow another move. I need to take this opportunity, get back into the pack. Also take that opportunity to do a bit of a feed, get any fluids into you if you can. You've got a couple seconds to rest. Fluids, food, you might not think you'll need them over an hour-long race, but they do matter. All right, so the field's caught me. We're going to be chasing down Isaac in no time. One thing I always like to do when the field catches me is get right back in. I don't want to lose all those positions I've fought so hard for, so see here, I managed to slot myself in the top 5. Nice place to be. I know that if I can get a bit of recovery, I can follow the next move. But it's also you're not wasting energy falling all the way to the back and then having to do all that work a second time. So remember what I just said about not letting yourself fall too far back? Guess what I did wrong. Field swarmed here, and just given my positioning and my legs, I let it surround me. And unfortunately, I didn't try to get on the wheel of anyone coming around me at the time, and so I lost a ton of wheels here. Another really important thing to do in a race is know what wheels to follow. Pay attention to the guys around you, especially if they're local, and understand who races smart. Zach Kowalchuk, the guy whose wheel I just jumped on, he races smart, and he's someone who I know will either drag me somewhere up in the field or at least be a smooth wheel to be on. All right, so I'm back at the pointy end of the race. I've been here for a little bit now. Guys from other teams have been covering the moves, and I've really just been able to sit in the top 10 riders and enjoy. But why just enjoy? At some point, you got to take a risk, and here's mine. Go for an attack. Now, if I had been smart, I would have attacked on the inside downwind. It's a little bit of shelter from the other riders as you start the attack would have been really nice. So Isaac was the one to bridge up to me in this breakaway, and I think my exact words to him were, "Not you," because really I don't want to deal with that same effort that we dealt with before. So the resignation went into my head immediately, and I started to sit up pretty quickly here and just let him get away from me, go back to the pack, knowing that he's not going to stay out there on his own. And here comes the field to swallow me up. Once again, I took advantage while I was off the front there to have a snack or two, drink a bit of water, make sure I'm recovered, and then it's about jumping back in as quickly as possible, not letting too many wheels slip by. So remember what I said about taking free rides. Amiel makes a move here to get up to the front, right at the same time as an attack goes, and the timing is perfect because the attack gets off the front, no one chases, so we've kind of got this dual momentum going on where we get slotted in right wheels 1 and 2. So we're on a preem lap here. Guys are attacking, trying to get something open. Maybe if they're not sprinters, they can go from a little bit longer out and win that preem. So Amiel's working hard, bringing them back together. I don't know what was going through these guys' minds up front, but they really didn't work that hard. And I think when the guy who led the attack realized that we were close and that he had someone on his wheel, he really just sat up. And when we caught them, we sat up, leaving a big opportunity for someone carrying speed and momentum to take advantage of it. Now that was Jeff. He used the hole in the riders and our slowdown to get first into this corner, which is really a good place to be if you can go for the sprint. Now Zach got on his wheel, and Zach is the better sprinter and took the preem, but that was a great move, and they got a big distance on the pack in no time just by taking advantage of change in momentum and better cornering. All right, we are on the bell lap. I have to be honest, I am not super pleased with how this race went for me. I was definitely missing aggression, and I was definitely missing confidence, and those are two really important features in crit racing. Now, this was my first race of the season, or my first crit race of the season, I should say, and those things will come back into my legs as I get a couple more races in me. But in terms of today's performance, not happy. I know I can do better, and you're always going to come away disappointed when you know you've got a better performance in you. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you learned something. I know I certainly did. Going into future episodes, we're going to be exploring skills and techniques that are important to crit racing, and we'll get your performance better on the road, and some great footage that'll be exciting to watch. So even if you're not racing, you just have some great racing to see. Thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to making more of these episodes. If you have suggestions, comments, please let me know, and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Bye.